Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are trying to make a change, staying safe, being proactive. I have a friend that I am going to bring on. His name is Josh. And not only is he one of my really good friends, he's also my publisher. He's an African American gay man. And we were just talking this morning about life right now and all the changes and working on ourselves. And I just said to him, I was like, Josh, why don't we just do this on live chat? Because it just feels so natural. And I feel like, I don't know, hearing him talk was really inspiring and made me feel just it made me feel some type of way, and it's kind of opening my eyes. So I said, why not do this on live chat? And yeah, let's have him on. We have 7,000 viewers for Josh. It's going to be amazing, you guys.
Hey B,
Hi, Josh.
how are you, my love?
I was just telling everybody, I was like, we were having a conversation, you know, about everything that's going on in the world, Black Lives Matter. I feel like as I've been kind of scared, like we were talking about, like I've been kind of scared to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, or because like for me, yeah, as a white person, it's kind of stressful, it's like I don't want to just sit here and not do anything. I want to make a change and I want to be part of it. But like, talking to you, you just made me feel so much um more confident in just trying to do what's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that right now, everyone, especially people of non-color, are in they're in a very weird place where they don't want to say the wrong thing and offend somebody. And also, they don't necessarily want to be silent because their silence will be taken as, complicity, that they are supporting.
It's about starting the conversation.
It's
I still
about,
have my friend.
it's definitely about like starting the conversation, like, as some people know, like, my husband's white. And this is bringing up, not I wouldn't want to say issues, but this is bringing up, in our marriage, things that we haven't necessarily had to ever discuss before. And it's forcing us to have like those tough conversations. And I think where people of non-color, the best thing to do is like ask like your, black friends, your brown skin friends, ask
All the
them
white people are gonna be calling up their black and brown friends, like, "Hey, what's up?
like
What do I do?" But that's better than nothing than just
it's
sitting home and not doing like but it's not about us, okay? It's about you. And the reason why I wanted you on here was because we were just, I mean, thank you so much, like opening up the conversation and not being scared to like just, I think as long as your heart's good and it's in the right place, then you really have nothing to be scared about.
of course. And I mean,
But this is about you. I want this to be about you. I want you to talk more. I
oh,
want
I
you to tell
love
me
you.
how you feel, because you said you went to the protest the other day. It was very peaceful, a very peaceful
It was,
protest.
it was really beautiful. Like, I mean, mind you, everything that like I saw on the news, it scared me. And, I hit up one of my like dear friends, Bonnie McKee, and I was like, hey, like we should go to this. Like, I really think it's important that we go and like, I was like, we go and show our support. Then, after I invited her, I got like nervous and I was talking to my husband, and my husband was like, Joshua, like with him being with him being white, he was just like, part of, promoting change is finding comfort within the discomfort and leaning into the discomfort. And when we went out there, it was literally like probably one of the most beautiful things that I've ever, been a part of, because you see so many people from like different walks of life coming together to support like a cause. It's like it wasn't white versus black. It was like humanity versus like racism, and injustice. And that to me was just like beautiful. There was this one African American kid, he came up to me and he was just like, hey, I want to know, the very first, he asked me, he's like, hey, can I talk to you? And I said, of course. And he's like, I want to know, or if you can remember the very first time that, you were racially discriminated against. And I said, I couldn't remember, but I could remember the most recent time. And as we were sitting there conversing, this Caucasian girl came up and she was like, hey, can I be involved in the conversation here? Like she's like, I just want to understand, I want to learn, I want to know you guys' stories. And to me that was like the most like beautiful thing, because I think people are opening their eyes and wanting to be and starting dialogue that hasn't necessarily happened before. You know what I mean? And, granted, like some of these conversations are hard, but, these conversations, they have to be had amongst, everyone, because it's an issue. And it will continue to be an issue. And I think the more that these conversations take place, the further that we'll get. So one of the things
You said that, yeah, I'm sorry, you said that recently you're starting to feel like you've never felt so, just like,
seen,
just feel like seen. Yeah, wow.
I feel like seen. I
I,
think
I
that,
just, I can't believe that. Like, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just like, it's just hard for me to understand that. Like, and it's just, I'm trying to, because I'll never understand, but like, I'm trying to get it. But just you saying something about like finally being seen is like kind of, it's unbelievable.
yeah, like, I mean, and the thing is, like, I had never felt seen before. And then when this all started on Monday, it was like, it was like a sense of like empowerment. I felt that people were genuinely caring of like about what the Black community goes through, with all different types of like injustice and, different underlying racism. And I'm sure that so many other minorities have like, been through it. Like, I'm sure you've gone through it, like as a woman, it's that point to where you feel like your voice is being heard, like, and
Yeah.
it's a really like undescribable feeling. And it's like, it's really touching. And, I think the thing that's been really beneficial and made me feel really good is, as you were saying when we started this conversation, people are in a place where they feel like they either don't want to say something because they don't want to offend anyone, or they're in a place where they just don't say anything.
I think it's just like, remember, Josh, what we said about recognizing, I'm sorry for cutting you
No,
off,
go
like,
ahead.
it's also really important too, like, for my fans to know and for people to know, like, it's about, like, we all, like, society starts shaping us certain ways, and it's like, it's about recognizing how we've been shaped and how that was wrong, it's like not being, like, it's like, how would I say that? Remember when we were talking
Of
about
course.
that? Like we were talking about, let's be real, when we're talking about when somebody says to a black guy, oh, you sound so white. And we had the conversation of saying like how that has been kind of put into our heads because white people are more intelligent than a black guy, or if you talk more like slang, then you're speaking like a black person. This is just all of that just needs to be literally washed out, and then we have to all like see how we've been shaped by society and people, and we need to get rid of all of that,
Yeah,
because that's all nonsense.
and we've been like shaped by like by like stereotypes,
Exactly.
and
Sorry, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things, that stereotypes and stuff like that we need to like,
that we have to get rid of. And like
the habits, right?
I will say that I'm absolutely guilty of it, so like I can understand like being on the receiving end and the giving end as well, because like I will say, like, when someone says to me, oh, Josh, like you don't act black at all, or you don't, or you're not even black, and it's just like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's just so insane to me, because like,
yeah. And it's like, at the end of
yeah,
the day, like, essentially what you're telling me is like, since I don't act a certain way, I'm not who like I am. And literally up until this week, it had never actually dawned on me like how that had been programmed into my head and how other stereotypes have been programmed into my head. And I think that,
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. I like, like, you know, like when you see the memes and stuff like that of like the white women or white people and there's a black guy walking past the car. And I had, you know, one of my best friends, when I first came to LA, he was Haitian, and I remember just being in a car with him. Like we were driving one time, and there was literally a cop car that drove past us, and we were just hanging out. We were just friends, and the cop car like literally would like was just like following us like this and like looking at me to make sure that I was okay.
mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand what was happening. I was like just so confused. And my friend's like, he's checking to make sure you're okay,
Of course,
that you're not being taken by a black man or whatnot. And I was just like, I couldn't understand that. Like that to me was like kind of like I never saw that. I didn't know what that was, you know?
course.
And that opened up my eyes for a lot of things and a lot of there's a lot of stuff that we need to undo, but I think that it feels like it's kind of heading in the right direction, right? Like I feel like it's
I think that to me what's like happening is like people are fucking like speaking up, like this is not okay. And not only are people saying it's not okay, people are coming out in like mass numbers. And one of the things that's been touching me the most is everyone, you know, all my coworkers, friends, colleagues, clients that are reaching out to me, just like checking on me to see how I feel, but also what they're doing is like, you know, they're starting the dialogue and asking me like how, you know, they can be more of assistance. And in my opinion, just reaching out to your black friends and like having that conversation with them to me is important. I mean, I can't even list how many, you know, people have reached out to just be like, you know what, I stand with you. And it's those messages this week that have made me feel like I'm seen, I'm heard. You know, because a lot of like the underlying racism that happens, like I don't talk about it. I just kind of kick it under the rug because I think that, you know, realistically, I've been programmed to think that like a lot of that shit's like okay, you know. And then with this, like with all this happening, you know, with all the police injustices, with people like really standing up, like I'm finally thinking like that's not okay, you know. And
isn't that like insane? Like it's just
of course, and you know, you just kind of let a lot of that stuff go. So
I think for like a lot of white people too, it's like you think like, you know, like for me it's like I'm not racist. So I'm like, oh, you know, for a long time I was like, so I don't need to fix anything, like I'm not doing anything wrong. But now it's about us being like, no, we need to work on fixing the people that are racist or are prejudiced and do have stereotypes. Like we have to actually like not just like stand there and be like la 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 la. You know, it's like if I'm not sick and my friend is sick, I need to go fix that sick friend. Like I'm not gonna just leave a sick friend and get everybody else sick in the room.
of course,
it's like you gotta have to like go and like fix the situation. Sorry, I know I'm coming from my end. And
no. But the thing is, like, I'm not gonna say there's no right or wrong end to come from. It's just a place of like, you know, the dialogue is going between us, and to me, that's important. Like,
I just want my fans to know not to be scared. You know what I mean? Like, do not be scared to speak your heart and to make a mistake. Find people that you love. Like, Josh is one of my good friends. Like, if I say something messed up or fucked up, I feel like you would put me right in my place and be like, Bebe, don't say that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the right term. Yeah, that's not the right term. That's not how you should say it.
Like, I think one of the things that, like, you know, I guess.
By the way, the people commenting on my dark circles right now, I shouldn't even be saying this. That's the wrong thing to be focusing on. So your ex.
I think one of the
Sorry, Josh.
No,
we're talking about something important. Like, what? That's the world. You feel me? Like, are you serious right now?
And I think, you know, first off, Bebe, like, I really want to like thank you for giving me like a platform, because I will say, and it's interesting, like, 'cause I'm saying these things out loud. Like, I feel as if, you know, even as like a black person, like I've seen this shit happen over, you know, the past about 5-6 years. And I won't even want to say like I turned like a blind eye to it. I just didn't realize how like how heavy of an issue it was like in the Black community. Like I've been stopped by cops before for literally nothing. And in my mind, I was just like, oh, well, that's just what happens. But you know what? That's not what just should happen. You know, that
Yeah, it's not
shouldn't
okay.
be the protocol. You
So
know,
it's so
it's
fucked up.
it's
I'm sorry. I'm not starting to curse. I'm cursing so much, but
no, it's all good. But like I said, the dialogues is going, and that's what's important. And in my opinion, like, you know, one of the things that I think is like the most frustrating to me right now is a lot of people, you know, I keep seeing the hashtag that all lives matter. And it's 100% true, okay? Like, it's very clear. BB, your life matters. My life matters. My husband's life, his life matters. His family life matters. Your dog's life matters. But, you know, I saw this, video, and it really like put it into perspective. If like you have two houses and one of them's on fire and the other one's not on fire, right now that person's, house matters because their shit's on fire. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes,
And
yes.
it's kind of like what's going on. So when I see people saying,
You're not gonna go put out both fires. If one house is not on fire, you're not gonna
of
put
course,
hose on that. You're
not,
gonna put on the burning
and
house. So we're basically all lives matter, but right now we're saying that we're focusing on Black Lives Matter.
that Black lives
And
like
if
they
you're not
matter.
with it, then I don't know what to say about that. Because right now we're dealing with something that needs to be dealt with. That's been going on for the longest time, and it's and I don't know how. I would love to personally, and I don't know where to or what to do. I would personally love to go into history and how did like black and white become a thing. And I obviously know through slavery, but I mean like the psychology of it all. Like I want to go into the psychology of
Well,
it all. And
one
like
thing that I've just I don't know. It's just so interesting, B, that this has opened up like an entire, can of worms for me because realistically, like you're not born a racist. Racism is taught and it is learned at home. So going back to what I was initially saying, like getting the dialogue going so like it doesn't affect like our children and it doesn't affect like like my children or anyone's children. Like we have to stop it here. We have to do whatever we can to stop it. We have to continue this movement. It's so much more than like posting on social media. This is something that needs to be an ongoing continuous conversation, and yeah,
yeah.
it's just like it's just like I said, I'm overwhelmed with like emotions. A, because like I have a platform to talk about this, and this is something that I don't think I've ever been able to or even felt comfortable enough to address. But now I feel comfortable enough like to address it, and I really give like a massive shout out to like everyone out there that's like speaking up and just like saying something. And because it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable like thing to talk about, especially like
Because it's usually you don't speak about it, right? It's like usually something you just put under the rug,
or we're
It's
just
like
subconsciously like I said, I've been stopped by a cop before, literally for like nothing. Those of you who know me, like, I don't come off too threatening at all, but in my mind, it's been programmed. That's what's supposed to happen. I'm Black. This is protocol. This is what it's going to be. And we need to change that this is not what it's just going to be, and I think that
it's like this makes me like it's like everything going on is tough, but that makes me feel like like listening to you talk about it. It makes me feel I don't know because I even just talking to you today, I feel you as a person. You're lighter too, and it just feels really nice. Like it makes me
thank you.
feel happy, just because I feel like at the end of the day, everybody deserves to be happy and to be treated equal. And we're all human. We all breathe. We all eat. We are the same. We're made up of the same. We all have hearts. We all have stomachs. We all have. It's just that this gets fucked with. You know what I mean?
Totally. Totally.
And this is something that, yet again, going back to the mind, this is something we never really talk about how strong the mind could be
Of course.
and how it could change everything. Because if you get rid of our heads and the way we think, we all have, everything is the same.
Everything's the exact same.
Besides the color of our skin, and
But even with that though, like, you know, quote recently, like, you know, essentially race is divided into like 5 different categories, but that's false because there's only one race, and that's the human race. You know,
human.
that's it. We're all human.
That's just something that was created, you know? But listen, sorry. I just wanted to say something. Um, you know, I'm really like proud of you, and I'm like, you can jump on my Instagram whenever you want. I'm sure everybody would love it. We could do it again. Um, and everybody keep, you know, keep talking to your friends, keep trying to do whatever you can do. You know, there's like, nothing is like the right or wrong. Do whatever's best for you, but try to do something, even if it's working on yourself.
Yeah, of course. And just one
You
kind of
know,
one last thing, like,
of
it just
course.
kind of like to anyone like listening, like right now, in my opinion, it's not enough to just like not be racist. Like people have to be openly anti-racist, and it's like I don't stand for this. I will not stand for this,
That's so true.
and I think that's something that is really important. And like you know, as I was saying earlier, lean in to like the discomfort, you know, of having that rough conversation. Like, and some of the best conversations I've had over the last week are literally just friends reaching out to me, like, how does this make you feel? And then I return the question of like, how does this, you know, make you feel as a person of non-color, you know, and having those hard conversations, because the more we have them, the further I think we will get, you know. And like I said, it's just really great to have a platform to talk about this, and I really encourage everyone to keep like to keep the dialogue going, because you know this is going to be an issue. And if you can find a peaceful protest, like I really urge people to go, because
I know, I'm gonna be honest, because you texted me and you're like, have you been protesting? And I'm like, I'm scared, because I feel like every time I just watch the news, it's like some negative shit's happening, and then you showed me like the protest you went to was so beautiful. Like it was like everybody was singing and like just, you know, singing "Lean on Me." That was like a vibe, you know,
of
like.
course of course, like everyone, literally just everyone from all walks of life coming together to support a cause. There's nothing like that. And I think just it's a good feeling to be a part of history, and it's also a good feeling to be a part of like change, you know. So
I love you, Josh.
I love you too, B. I if do you delete your videos after you put them up?
No, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post
Yeah,
this.
keep it. And I think it's, like I said, I think it's important. And thank you so much for, you know, giving me a platform.
Of
Because
course,
at the end of the
duh.
day, more than like me being your publisher and us doing business together, like we're homies, we're friends,
Yeah.
and these are the type of things that we can talk about that I think are beautiful. And you know, I can't tell you how much it meant to me the day that all this broke out. You just texted me, not even about work or anything, just like, my love, how are you? Like, how are you doing? Like, that goes like miles, you know. Like, and I say to everyone, like, even if you're not knowing what to say, like, reach out to your friends, make that text message, make that call, because right now, like, everyone is ensued with a ton of like different emotions, you know, and we have to like look out for each other. One last thing before you go, B, how are you feeling about all this? Like,
I feel like it doesn't matter about how I feel. I
I
just
think it
feel like
does though. I think it does.
I just feel like a little, I just feel like, I feel, I feel a little, I feel weird. I feel uncomfortable, like you said. I feel super uncomfortable, but I feel like when you break through your uncomfortableness is when you start making changes.
Of course.
It's not about me being comfortable, because I could sit in my house right now and just be watching Netflix or something like that, but I'm on live right now, and I could easily say something wrong that somebody will take out of context and post all over the internet. But I'm taking that chance and talking to you, and hopefully spreading this to, even if it's 5 people or 1 person, so we're just trying to shake it up so people don't feel so. I feel like I'm trying my best,
Of course.
and I hope I can do better. I'll try to always do better, you know. For me, it's like I feel like as a human being in my heart, everything that's been going on, like I feel like it's not right. And I feel like when you break it down to human nature, like it just what we deserve as humans, I feel like everything that's been going on is really not okay, you know?
Of
And I
course.
feel like as a human, like for my heart and my soul to like just me, like deep down, like I just want it to be, I want everybody to have, to live a good life.
Of course.
That's basically why I feel like life is so short, and I just feel like everybody deserves to be, to just to have a good fuck, just to have, just to all be fair and just to be equal, and just for all of us to like be able to have a good life, have a good education, have just have a good quality of life. That's what I feel like. I want people to have a good quality of life and to enjoy their
Of
lives, you
course, and it
know?
starts with conversations like this, like the one before jumping on live. It starts with the ones that you and I have on the phone. You know, like you really like touched me this morning when I was like talking to you, and you were like, you know, people saying that you don't act black or you're not black enough. Like the fact that you were so aware of how, you know, detrimental that is, like to me, like having that
Yeah.
self-awareness is gonna
Seriously, everybody.
continuously move us forward.
First thing, also, we gotta. I think we should go because I feel like we're gonna drive everybody crazy, probably. But I just want to say, it's so I don't want to, but like, if somebody, like with Josh, like if somebody's telling a black person you sound white, stop for a second and think about what society has done to you, because it's kind of brainwashed us to think that white people sound intelligent. Why? Because Josh, because you speak, you're very eloquent. The way you speak is amazing. You're a successful businessman. You're an African American gay man, and you're a publisher, and you work with all these big songwriters, producers, and somebody's going to tell you that you sound white because you're intelligent and you're speaking properly. This is what the problem is, and that's why we have to like step back and think about how we've been programmed and how what's become normal for us, and that's not okay. You feel me? It's like we have to take those situations. It's like we've taken intelligence and put it with black and white, and it's like that's those are the little problems that end up actually going a long way.
And just I'm just so glad that you are aware of that. And as we end, Bebe, thank you so much for like giving me a platform and,
I love you.
you know, leaning into the discomfort and having these conversations. I love you.
I love you
All
more. I
right.
love you,
All right,
Josh.
love you. Bye.
Bye. I'll FaceTime you after
All
this.
right,
Bye.
bye.